Everyone, BB here. So I have to start this video over again because my phone is so stupid. Anyways, so I'm gonna start over. It was only 5 minutes in, but still. So, I'm gonna talk about something exciting that happened. Now, this is almost a year ago. So this particular thing almost happened a year ago. So it's been a long time since this happened, but I remember it like it was yesterday. So unfortunately, last year we were hit with COVID. And I'm not going to go into a lot of details about COVID because, I just don't want to talk about it too much. Nothing against, I have a lot against it, but I don't know. You get what I'm saying. But, it's really sad about what happened, and so many people died, and, it was scary because it's like, yeah, it's been sad. Even though the topic I'm about to talk about is somewhat related to it. So last year, we had COVID. COVID hit and everything. And because of that, there was a lot of things that had to be canceled or not happen, like parties and get-togethers and stuff. For example, the first one that happened to my family was my cousin was turning 30. Was turning 30. This is how old he was turning. He is now a year older. So now he is... Dang, I can't. Trying to do this with one hand. So right now my cousin is... Not trying to make that sexual. You nasty minds, get out of here. But, so... 2 years ago... A year ago, my cousin was this old. Was turning this old. Now he is this old. So he's a year older. And we were going to do a party for him. To celebrate that year. Because that's an important year. And we had everything planned. We had a date. It was, I don't know the exact date. I don't know my cousin's birthdays, really. I know that, and they all know mine because it's simple, May 25th. But, I hope they all know mine. Even though now I would feel bad that I don't know theirs. I know, like, a couple are in December. But anyways, I know this particular cousin, Ryan, his wasn't in December. I want to say it was around this time. But... it could have been April, it could have been March, it could have been May, June, or even July or August. I don't know, but I know it was a year ago. So, we were going to have a party at my aunt's house. And everyone said that they were going to just about go. There was going to be a few people that weren't going to go, like my mom, obviously my sister because she was still living in Springfield. My grandparents, I don't think they were going to go. There were a few people that were like, no, I don't want to go because of COVID. And obviously the people that said they were going to go, like me and my dad, we obviously told each other, people that were going to wear a mask. But then, that was in the beginning of COVID. Well, I don't want to say beginning of COVID, because I think COVID hit in January? February, maybe? December, maybe even? I don't know. So we were already into COVID, and COVID was already there for a couple of months. So then we had to make the tough decision to cancel it because of COVID. And it was hard. It was difficult to cancel it because let me tell you something, my family, we're family. Like, we, Italian typical family. Get together every Sunday, every other Sunday for red sauce. Sauce. Oh my god, I call it sauce. Oh my goodness, I should be beat myself with the wooden spoon. Every Sunday, every other Sunday, we get together at my grandma's. You have spaghetti and meatballs with red gravy. And my grandma makes like 10 different dishes. My grandma's that type of grandma that you go there saying that she's going to make one thing and she makes 20 different things. Even if it's just for me, my mom, and my grandparents. Because we don't have an oven right now, so we're going there a lot for dinner. Like literally one time we went there and she said she was going to make pot roast. She ended up making like 5 different things. And it's like, really? And then half the stuff got thrown out. Like, for example, she doesn't like pot roast, my grandma. So she made Italian sauce. And she got the hot because she likes Italian sauces hot. And she made like 5 of them when she was the only one that ate them. I think my grandpa had like half of one. And cooked like 5 or 6 of them, and they all got thrown out because she only ate one. And anyway, so obviously because of COVID, there's a lot of things that got canceled, family and friend-wise. My friends also backed down a lot on parties and stuff. But so this particular thing that I'm about to say was when stuff started to open up again last year, and people were told by the CDC or I don't know, whoever, that you could start going to parties and stuff if it's small groups. Now here's the thing about my family. This is my dad's side, by the way. We're talking about my dad's side. On my dad's side, there's now 20... Hang on a second. 22, possibly 23. Because I now just found out a couple weeks ago that my cousin's dating someone that we know. Longtime friend. I don't know how official it is yet. So I don't want to count her yet. Otherwise it would be 23. So we have 23 people on my family. That's a lot of people. Now I know we're not the biggest family. But I can tell you that one time we went to Disney about 12 years ago. And we went to the ride operator. And he or she would ask how many people you have. And we'll be like, 21. They'll be like, 21 people? Okay, you're going to take up the whole ride. And we're like, okay, sweet. Oh, the whole ride to the park family. Anyways, no, so it was just a lot of things that we had to cancel and get rid of. Oh, by the way, if I just randomly stop, it's because my mom and dad are out for my dad's birthday dinner. They told her to call me or text me like 15 minutes before they left the restaurant so I could get the fire going because I set up the fire pit. So if it just randomly stops without me doing an ending, I'm sorry. My phone's just like that. So my aunt called me and said, hey, stuff's starting to open up. They said we can have small parties and stuff. So we're going to get together as a family since, it's been almost a year. Now, prior to that year, I did see my Aunt Lisa that was having the party because she lives in town. And I would go there a lot so she could help me with, like, laundry. Even though I did the laundry, but she offered to let me use her wash and dryer because ours is broken at the time. Well, our dryer works, but our washer is like weird. I don't know what's going on with it. So a few times I've gone over there to do laundry. Or I would let's go over there to help her around the house with her dogs. Go shopping with her, help her with grandma. I went out over there a few times during COVID. Oh, COVID is still a thing, but So I would go out over there a lot. I went to my grandma's a lot. But every other family member I didn't really see a lot at all. Like the most I think I saw my family last year prior to, besides that party that we had, was Christmas. Because before Christmas, then stuff shut down again, and things just people were like, okay, you can't party anymore. We gotta stop this again. So Christmas last year, we did Zoom call, and I fell off a chair because my dad got the cheapest types. Okay, so my dad, being my dad, he did a lot during COVID. Like he fixed up the yard, made it like kind of like a fire pit, cleaned up the bar, because we have a bar at home. And during the process of him cleaning up the bar, he bought new bar stools. Even though I like the old ones, I actually miss the old ones. I think we still have one. Anyways, so knowing my dad, he got the cheapest ones, and they are so uncomfortable. They don't have anything but to sit on your butt, and they're steel or metal. I don't know what one they are. Probably steel or titanium. I don't know. They're like you knock on it and it knocks back. It doesn't have any back. It doesn't have really any footrest. Even though our bar kind of has a footrest, kind of, but still, it's like they're slippery. So during the Zoom call, I went to go sit on the stool, and I fell off, and everybody saw it. And unfortunately, I almost knocked my mom over, but thankfully, she was able to get her grip. So this party, not to get too far off task, was one of the first parties that we had after COVID happened. We mostly stayed outside during the COVID during the party. We mostly stayed outside, just so if just in case I don't know. But everybody came. Like even the folks down in Boone freaking County came out for this party. This party, I want to say it was on a Friday or a Saturday. I know it was the Sunday because we don't really party too much on Sundays. Even my friends, we don't really even party on Sundays too much. If anything, we'll have leftovers or maybe like I said, my Italian grandma meatballs and gravy on Sunday. But party wise, we don't really. I mean, even like partying, we don't really party. It's more of just getting together, having food, maybe putting on some music. So, we get together and we go to my cousin's house. That's down the block from where I live. And I go in and I'm like, hello, is anybody home? Because we drove separate cars. So I went about 5 minutes before my parents left. And I go in and my cousin's like, huh? Hello? Family? And I'm like, no, it's a burglar. Of course it's family, Liam. And he comes and he actually wanted to give me a hug. And I'm like, wait, you want to give me a hug? Okay, because my other cousins would say I still had cooties. So anyways, but what was a wee bit difficult about this party was at the same day, my friends were also having a welcome back party from COVID. So my friends were also having a party in Elgin. So I tell my aunt, I can't stay for the whole party. I'm just going to eat, maybe hang out a little bit, and then I have to go to my other friend's house because my aunt's party started at maybe 2, maybe 1 in the afternoon. And I know my friend said, okay, come to my house around 6 or 7. So it's like, okay, no problem. I'll just leave straight for my aunt's. I stayed at least a half an hour more at my aunt's house because that's how much fun, we were all having. We had typical food, burgers, hot dogs, sausage, pizza. I think my grandma secretly ordered pizza. We had the typical stuff. I think it was barbecue stuff, beans and chips and stuff. My aunt had a fire pit going. She had like an actual fire pit. And then on the deck, she had those like propane ones that has like the fake flame. Everybody was like having fun. We were having conversations. My cousins actually acted like they knew me and we were actually related because my sister was not there because she was fortunately in Springfield. But like I said, even my cousin from Boone County came out. And she doesn't come out to everything because they're an hour away, and she typically works on Sundays at a bar with my aunt that works at a bar. My aunt's the manager, head bartender, and my cousin's cook. Anyways, so they even came out. I think it was just my cousin. I don't know if my uncle or aunt came out. My uncle was the biological one. My dad's brother. Anyways. We even had music going. And like I said, we don't really play too much music at family get-togethers. From once in a very blue moon, we'll throw on some pump music. But we were at the point where we were dancing. We were doing shots, car bombs. We weren't really drinking to get drunk, but, we were drinking. I wasn't drinking. I don't drink. But, right before we started the games, I went outside. Before the sunset, me and my cousins, we got together in the living room and sat on the couch, and some of us sat on the floor. I sat on the couch. I was like, you are not about to put me on the floor because you have to help me get up. And they were like, you no. Sounds like exactly. I mean, we were just talking about Disney. And Disney happened in 2010. And we're still talking about Disney. Because that was a blast. That was fun. We were talking about, upcoming weddings. My cousin's getting married in October, and I'm so proud of him. I love him. I'm always as long as my cousins are happy, that's all that matters. I just had good news that my cousin is going to be, I don't know the proper word for it, because I don't want to be disrespectful. He's turning into a woman. And I'm so proud of him. I'm really so proud of him, because he's one of my top 3 favorite cousins. I mean, I love them all. I do. Obviously, as much as I hate to say I have favorites, I kind of do. And he's number 3. Because it's funny, because he came up to me once. Well, she came up to me. And because he just started this process of becoming a woman. And it's funny because we were going over names. And I said, oh, you should become a Blanca or something. And he's like, ew, Blanca. So, at the time, he was a he. But he came up to me. And this was last year sometime when he was living with my grandma. And he's like, look here. And I was like, yeah. And he's like, I'm going to help you find a job, B. I'm not going to cuss because I don't cuss, but he called me a B. I hope you all know what that means. He's like, I'm going to help you find a job, B, whether you like it or not, B. And he's like, you're going to handle it. And he's like, I'm going to get you this job, and you're going to be a B at it, B at it. And then you're going to be the best B at it. And I'm going to help you. And I don't care if you want my help or not, but he's like, it's going to happen. And he never helped me, really. Anyways, but I'm so happy for her. I'm proud of her. It's kind of something I never saw. My cousin is she's also gay. Now that we always saw, that we always knew. And when he came out, I was just about freaking time. Because we all knew it. We just all knew it. And, hang on a second. I was even talking to her last night. I said, look, if someone has a problem with you becoming a woman, I said, they can go through me. They can have a talk with me. Because nobody messes with family, let alone a cousin. I said, I grew up with you. I said, you were always you always was willing to watch the movie Spice Girls with me, and what do you call it, Susie Q. Those were the one movies we always watched together, so I told her, I said, if anybody has a problem with this, they can come talk to me. I respect you, I support you if no matter what decision you take. So, anyways, back to the party. So, Everybody was there. That was shocking to see that everybody was there. The only two people that weren't there were the out-of-staters. My other aunt and my other uncle. Uncle being biological, my dad's brother. And I'm kind of glad that they weren't there because, anyways, um, they were the only ones that didn't come in for town for that. But even my grandpa was kind of dancing a little bit. Everybody, my uncles and my grandpa and my dad were kind of smoking a stogie. We kind of was just sitting around the fire. At one point, my cousin Liam and Marietta were like, okay, come on, we're going to go make s'mores. And I'm like, s'mores? I said, I don't know. I said, I know, I'm not a huge fan of s'mores. And my cousin's like, I'm going to disown you. And I'm like, do it then. So yeah, what? Anyways, seriously, I'm not a huge fan of marshmallow, to be honest. Marshmallow's not my favorite. If anything, I like it in Lucky Charms. And my dad said that that's not even technically marshmallow. Then what is it? But marshmallow, I can choke down. I can eat it. It's just, I don't prefer it. I wouldn't recommend it. For example, I've never been a fan of, like, fluff. So I was like, you know what? It's a special time. It's a special date. I'm just proud to be with family again. I love you guys. So I had, like, for 2 s'mores. I also didn't want to eat a lot because I didn't know what my friend had at her house. So I had 2 s'mores. I was so sticky to the point where I was like, oh, I hate being this sticky. And it was like kind of getting in my hair, and I was like trying not to, like, get in my hair. And I ate 2, and I don't know if it was because I was hungry, but I was like, ooh, this is actually really pretty good. Now you're probably thinking this is my first time I ever had a s'more, and the answer is obviously no. I've had s'mores before. But I'm just not a huge on marshmallow. It's okay. I'll eat it from time once in a very, very, very blue moon. I will eat a marshmallow, but not a lot at all. Like barely ever will I eat a marshmallow. So, yeah, it's not creepy. Just in case you ever see that, it's, a girl that's supposed to be on a jump rope, and we've had her for many, 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 many years now, and we just never put her outside. We know she belongs outside. Anyways, so, it was just a very fun time, and finally my aunt brought out this big Jenga. It's like Jenga, but like 20 times bigger than its normal size. And we played like a bunch of rounds, like we were going against people, like, women versus men, aunts versus uncles, cousins versus cousins, this and that. I think we played like 8 or 9 games, and then finally my friends were texting me at like 7 saying, come over, get over here, where are you? And I'm like, So I left my family's house about 7. Got to my friend's house about 7:30 because she lives in Elgin, near South Elgin, kind of off Orlando. So I got there, and everybody was already some people were there already, and that, was a fun party too. I remember, I think we ended the party at like 6 o'clock in the morning. Like the sun was literally coming up. Like we were all going to my friend's house, room to sleep. Some people went home, some people stayed. We were all in my friend's master, just sleeping, and the birds were chirping, and they were like, okay, set your phone at this time, we're gonna go out to brunch. And we did, but like that party was fun. We played Flippy Cup, people were drinking, like I said, I don't drink. People were getting drunk, my friend's cousin was in town from Mexico, and he ordered us like $65 worth of Pizza Hut because I wanted Pizza Hut at like last minute. Like the delivery truck driver, he literally said, yeah, you guys were the last order of the day. Because this was at like 11 o'clock at night. So we ate pizza. And it's funny because my favorite pizza from Pizza Hut is the stuffed crust with barbecue, pepperoni, bacon, and black olives. And everybody was going off on me about ordering something that nasty. Why would you order that? That's nasty. Ew. Barbecue sauce on pizza. It's like, you know what? People put pineapple and ham on pizza. You know, in what's that movie? Princess Diaries. Put M&M's on pizza. M&M's. So if she can put M&M's on pizza, then I can put barbecue sauce. And then my friend Sergio that's engaged to my friend Jennifer. I'm mostly friends with Jennifer, but Sergio is obviously a friend because he owns the house and stuff. But they started eating my pizza. And he's like, I complained about this pizza being nasty, but he's like, this is dope. This is bomb. This is bomb. This is so good. He's like, I love this pizza. He's like, this is the best pizza. I mean, he was high and kind of drunk at the time, but, everybody ate it and was like, wow, Brendan, this really is good pizza. And I'm like, waka, waka, what did I say? And it's funny because my other friend, we went out to the balcony to smoke. Like I said, I don't do weed. I don't smoke. And I can swear on the Bible, I do not smoke. I can't swear on the Bible, I don't drink because I do and I don't drink. I mean, in a whole year, I probably drank maybe 4 times. In the whole year. So if you know, you know, but I don't barely drink, let alone smoke. I would rather get drunk than smoke anyway. So my friends were outside on the balcony doing the bong. Bong. This was probably like 2 o'clock in the morning at this point. So a few of us were out there. And my friend went to go do the bong. And after she did it, because it was her first time doing it, she got cotton mouth and started coughing and couldn't stop coughing. And I was like cracking up. I was laughing so hard. I was practically on the floor. And my friend lives in like a town condominium, so it like her balcony goes into like the alleyway. So it kind of echoes. And I was snorting so loud. I was laughing so loud. And she's like, she's gonna wake the neighbors, Brennan. I'm like, I'm sorry. I said, I don't mean to laugh at you coughing, but I said, that's not that it's funny, but it is. And it was funny. It was funny. Oh, and before that, so I decided to prank my friends. So I have these things called a fart bomb. And if I told this story before, I'm sorry. I think this was on the same day, but maybe it wasn't. So I'm not going to talk about it yet. I have to do research to see if this was on the same day or not. If it wasn't, then I'll come back and do the story. But I think it was an opposite time. I think I already talked about this. I don't even know. Anyways, it was just a fun night at my family's. It was a fun night at my friends. My friends, we were up till like 6 in the morning. Like, we were literally sitting around the kitchen dining room table. And we were all like, maybe we should go to bed. And I'm like, hey, I'm up till 6 in the morning anyways. I'll go to bed when you guys go to bed. But yeah, it was just very